let's go ahead and get ready to get started here. Hello. Oh, actually, I am really waiting this really much. Okay, there, I got chat. Okay, hello everyone, welcome. I am Joey wigging a new pickups video. It has been quite a while since I've done a pickups video, and as you can see, the wall has been built. We have built a tremendous wall of great magnitude, so you will have to greatly forgive me. This is probably going to be a long video, and also I don't know why this is random containment. I gotta get some of this stuff straightened up too. Anyway, we got a lot of stuff to go through, so you would have me, the humanoid assistant, here today. So, hey Jack, how you doing? That is a lot. I'm not sure when the last pickup video I did, so you'll have to forgive me. Anyway, so let's get out some of the bigger things out of the way. First thing, we have this ginormous collector's edition. So until ironically, just recently, a standard version of the collector, or the complete edition. Does it show a picture? Yeah, so originally this was the only way to get this complete edition version of this game, was to get this. Now there's just recently a standard version out now, which kind of pisses me off. Now on the upside, I did get this on sale. I think I got it for like $45. I think it was originally like $80, I think. It's a pretty decent sized box too. I mean, just to compare it to like a regular Switch game, as you can see, it is very ginormous to that. So, so it was still a pretty good deal, but I am a little peeved that that kind of came out after I got that. I got that off loot.com of that. Another big limited edition that loot.com had on sale was Flashback 2. This I think was like $20, and there's like some waddling in there. There's supposed to be like some giant figure thing there. So yeah, loot.com's had some pretty good deals, honestly. So I just ordered a bunch of new stuff from loot.com. Some of it for me, and some of it to kind of cover the order itself, because it trades in for some, well, money that. So I basically got like 3 copies of a few of the games I got to trade in and like balance it out. So I kind of like paid for itself, if that makes any sense. One of them I'm excited to get is the Squirrel with a Gun. I heard that is a very zany game, so I'm excited to actually get a copy of that and trade in a copy, so I can basically cover it itself. Yeah. Anyway, hey, can we not like hit everything here, please? Thank you, please, thank you. Anyway, I was desperately trying to figure out what to use my $5 coupon thing at GameStop, and I went and bought the Mr. Game & Watch Amiibo. I like Mr. Game & Watch. I used to main him in Melee and Brawl, so and it's interesting, I didn't realize he comes with multiple versions of himself. You can change out the pistol, so that's pretty nice. Sadly, I did get screwed on this, because to explain something that changed with GameStop. So at some point, GameStop changed where you no longer get points for trading in. So the last several games I've traded in to GameStop for like quick little flips were not giving me points. So I can no longer really do the point pay for pro membership trick anymore. So I have to change my game a little bit. So instead of letting the points obviously go to waste, because I don't have enough points to get the pro, I decided to just use them and use my monthly. And GameStop applied both of them to something that got, like, in other words, I didn't get the full of my $5 coupon thing, which kind of pissed me off. And the person was kind of like, I can't do anything. So that puts GameStop on my sin list. So I get a free screw GameStop in the future for it. That's what I do. You screw me, I screw back. Anyway, I digress. Anyway, you might notice there are some books. Like I said, I went on 2 trips. I went to Maine last month, and I went to Atlanta, Georgia this month. I was just there last weekend. So the manga you see here, I got in Maine. There was this big ass collection of fruit basket stuff. So there was also these animangas, which I've never heard of actually, which are colorful anime manga of Inuyasha. And then there was a actual Inuyasha manga. Now, what's interesting about this is the old one where they flipped it. So this was before they started making them how Japan properly has them. Oop, God damn it! You'll have to excuse me. I am jerry-wigging this from what I normally do. Nah, they're not. Basically, the person told me to call customer service, but that's just going to be a waste of my time. They might actually do something, but I'm busy. I have overtime. I'm trying to do shit. I don't have time to waste like an hour trying to fucking get a few dollars back because they're too lazy to be able to actually do anything. So I'm just going to file it under a sin, and just if there's something I got to exchange at GameStop or something for like a different version or something, I'll probably just do that because they're assholes. That's probably what I'll do because they're assholes. Anyway. So let's see, I got this particular NES game. I don't know if I had this, but it was like $5 that. I don't think I have it. It's pretty clean, so. But along with that, we got some PSP action that I spent my other $5 coupon. Assassin's Creed Bloodlines was at GameStop. Amazingly, with its case and booklets. It was shocking, I know. You don't usually see GameStop with shit like this anymore. They usually fucking throw it away. Well, at least they did. I think nowadays, like, I think GameStop makes it a priority to keep the original case stuff now. Which is kind of ironic because, you know, they used to throw it all away. Also, you'll have to excuse me. My throat is a little sore. Get a little water in there. So, my voice is a little sore. I kind of lost it during karaoke night in Atlanta, so it's getting better, but it might kind of crickle and crackle a little bit. So I apologize if we get there. So anyway, moving on, because we got a lot of shit to go through. Faith Unholy Trinity. This is 3 Faith games. These are very retro looking. They're supposed to be spooky games. Interestingly, the PC version of this actually comes with an additional game. It was a fan game. I guess because of that, they weren't able to really put in the physical version, which is a bit of a shame. But it is a free game that's DRM free, so it's not exactly the end of the world in that. And it is important to note the launch editions of these actually had a bug in one of the games. This is the revised version, so no issues on that. The Boulder Dash collection here. Looking at this, it looks like, you know, like cheap shelfware, but you know, there was a YouTuber that did this really big video on this series, and I was not really familiar with Boulder Dash, and it kind of made me a little curious. This was on sale really cheap, so I grabbed a copy just because of that curiosity. We have Nuclear Throne from Super Whale Games. I believe Limited One Games did a PS4 version of this like a bajillion years ago. But I would imagine this is a more updated version, which is, of course, always nice. Want to play Asia's newer releases. If you watch some of the videos about Neptunia's cancellation on the Switch, one of the representatives that is behind PlayAsia's publishing firm did talk about having trouble with this game in the Asian market, which has brought up the topic of Nintendo being Nintendo again. We have This was on sale. It's supposed to be a spooky survival horror game. I don't really know much about it. It does supposedly have English on it, but I snatched it up. Usually those go for money after it's sold out, so I was like, it's on sale. I might buy it, get it for Halloween, stream of that. Of course, we got Wizardry. I'm excited. We got some Wizardry going on. This, which also actually has some other versions of Wizardry we built in this game engine. Like, you can build your own Wizardry dungeons in this, which is a pretty neat extra on it. And later on, somewhere in here, is the remake of Wizardry Proving Grounds, which is very exciting. Very exciting, honestly. And we got so much stuff here. Oh, excuse the bleep of a beep beep beep. Tales from the the revival of the witch. This is supposed to be a visual novel. This was on sale on Woot.com as well. I got a lot of stuff here that was on sale on Woot.com. We got one of the newer Yeez games, also was on sale on Woot.com. Now, here's something. I've seen this game on GOG for a very, 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 very long time. So this is like supposed to be like a modern version of this thing. I'm not very familiar with it. It was only $11 on Woot.com. You can still get it right now. So I was kind of like, why not? Sad thing about my version is this holographic thing has like a bump right there. So I might have to try and see if I can plan it out or something. Another Woot.com, I believe was also $11, is the Stormtroopers Extermination. This is a online only game, sadly, no single player, sadly. This was a game, Limited One Games actually did put for sale on their website. I decided to skip out on it because it was an online only game, and I was kind of like, bleh. And some Limited One games have been ending up on Woot.com, and I'm glad this was something I skipped paying full price on, and I even got a spare copy to get a little money back too. So traded it in for I think it was trading in for $16. So that's a little extra back in the pocket, right? Yeah. This was on sale, I believe, for $10. It is some kind of crime, mystery, thieving kind of game. You're playing Lupin, one of the ancestors of Lupin. So, I don't know much about. It was cheap. I was kind of like, well, Lupin's cool. So, maybe this Lupin game is cool, too. We'll have to find out. Then there it is, the Wizardry. The Proving Grounds of the Mad Overlord, a remake of the Force Wizardry game. I don't know if this has any kind of retro throwback mode in there that I can tell you, playing some of the NES game, this game is fucking hard as nails. So then we have a unique edition of Valkyria Chronicles 4. This is a limited one release that has all the DLC on it. So I was kind of like, I guess. Bastards. So I was like, sure, I guess, why not? Let's see, we got some Super Whale games, the PS5 line, which is still pretty new. Steam World Build. Another Super Whale. I don't know anything about this one. Usually I buy the bundles to save on shipping and that, so we do. And of course, if you're watching the Let's Plays, I have this over here. It doesn't have its slip cover. It's somewhere on the shelf, I believe. But the last Hero Nostalgia Gaia, this is been enjoying. Is a big shame that we haven't gotten to play any of the games this weekend because of overtime. And I had my trip last weekend, which obviously I can't do because I wasn't home. So was a lot of so hopefully overtime won't continue, but it does sound like it's continuing, so I will have to find a secondary strat to kind of deal with that. But that's in the coming time. What was the company of this called again? God damn it, so small, pointed little logo. It's like Legacy video games or something. But these are like two really like retro-looking Atari-esque games. They were pretty cheap. I think they were either $19.99 or $29.99, somewhere around there. They weren't like super expensive. They weren't like pushing $34.99 like a Sun Limited Prints company. We got some more PSP stuff here. We got Ape Escape Academy, or is it actually Cape Academy case? Because anyone who remembers would remember that I believe it should have been the last video. I picked up Ape Escape Academy, and that was a like dollar like. There's a store that has like a whole bunch of like throwaway games they just toss into a bin when they like either feel like the quality condition is blah or something's wrong. But sometimes you can find some okay stuff there, and they had that in there. It's just $1. I was like, well, I get a case and a game I don't have, so nothing bad to say there. The Eye of Judgment for the PSP. I did not know this actually existed on here. We did not get this, at least physically, in America. PAL did get a version of it, so they had a sealed copy. It was really cheap, so I snatched a copy of that. I haven't done case art in a while, so some games I got the Dead or Alive Paradise game on the PSP, so I made my own cover art there with Toma, and I got the Dungeons and Dragons Tactics, and I made me own cover with Aisha on that. So you know, it's nothing too fancy, but you know, I like showing off some of the artwork stuff I kind of whip up for my loose games. That you know, adds a little flair, you know, and some more PSP. Man, PSP just keeps going. We got Hot Pixel. This was a Royal Whale like game. And we got some Switch. There's so much stuff here. It's just gonna go on forever and ever. Haunted House. This is going for like $10 at most Walmarts right now. I don't know if this is really much good, but hey, you know, I'm always sucker if it's like 10 and under and somewhat like at least a little interesting. I'll usually give it a bite. I'll give it a bite usually. So, the most modern version of the modern Pokemon with its DLC. From what I understand, this version has everything on the cartridge, including DLC, and the only thing that download requirement is about some kind of special Pokemon balls you can download, which, I mean, have we really gotten to that point with Pokemon where now you can buy special Pokemon balls? Am I really surprised with the Nintendo we're dealing with right now? No, I'm not. Speaking of Nintendo's poor and declining quality in a lot of things, the return of Detective Pikachu, as you may know, is in Japanese. This supposedly does have English on the cartridge, though, at least according to PlayAsia. This was like $8 off eBay with free shipping. Now, admittedly, they shipped it in the most thinnest and flimsiest envelope I've probably seen a Switch game ever in. But considering how poor I had an opinion on the 3DS Detective Pikachu, I didn't feel bad getting this for $8. I was kind of confused why, because there's a lot of copies of this overseas for like dirt cheap, and apparently there's a special Pokemon card you can get with this that people are buying and scalping and then just getting rid of this. So it's kind of funny. The card is apparently worth more than this fucking game. How sad, right? How sad. Something I finally broke down, got Shovel Knight Treasure Trove with all the DLC. The PS4 version was canceled for some reason. Don't really make sense to me. And they didn't do a PS5 version, so I was like, well, I guess I'm going to get the Switch version. There was like a restock at Video Games Plus, so I was like, I'll bite down. We'll get it, because I haven't gone through the DLC. I went through the original main game on PC because I was a backer, so I have the Kickstarter version. So technically, I mean, I own all the DLC technically all the way in a DRM-free formats. But you know, I usually playing on console anyway, so I was like, fuck it. Though I really would prefer the PS4 or 5 or something, because the PlayStation version has a special boss fight with Kratos, and the Xbox version has a special fight with the Battletoads. So it's really a shame those are stuck that way. So here is a Bizarro game. So I've heard pretty mixed things about this game. It's a very strange, like, eventual simulating game of that. It looks both interesting and kind of so it's kind of like I'd have to really play it to actually get a good idea of what I think, because I've seen good and bad things about it. But yeah, it has kind of a mobile simulator kind of vibe. Maybe like kind of similar if you ever played that Crystal Chronicles spin-off game on the Nintendo Wii, where you were a little king of that. Some Super Wario games. I'm not familiar with either of these. That one is what? Sushi Come Home? This one's called Little Godman. I don't know anything about either of them, sadly. But Super Whale Games usually does a pretty good job of picking some pretty decent games most of the time, so probably alright. Probably. Let's see, some more NES stuff. One we got with a booklet, Dungeon Magic Sword of the Elements. This is like a FPS dungeon crawler. I'm not very familiar with it. It was $8.99, so I was like, with its booklet and that, it's okay condition that. So I looked up. It's apparently not considered very good, but hey, you know, it is an RPG, and I'm always into RPGs, so you know. We'll do that, yeah. And a very odd find here, Spiritual Warfare. Now, if you're not familiar with this is a Wisdom Tree game, the notorious Wisdom Tree. And this is a dust on that one, you can tell I've had it for a little while. This is basically a Legend of Zelda style game. And, you know, actually, very strangely, it actually has some weight to it. Like, this game feels way lighter than this, actually. It's kind of weird that. That is my first unofficial NES cartridge from the actual NES era. I have not actually owned, well, actually, wait, I take it back. There was one I had. I have the gold cart with the little switch that has the little egg killer on it with, I think that caveman in that. I do own that. But other than that, out of Wisdom Tree's corner, that's the only one I have, and probably the only one I would actually be interested in owning. Because, hey, it's a Legend of Zelda game, so, you know, out of their catalog, that's probably the better thing, honestly. And we're going to show off a very interesting item here. The Quest for the Wings for the Odyssey 2. I got this for $34.99, and it's missing like one piece out of it, so it's not a big deal. But so this is the cartridge, and you have these chips and stuff. So the object of this game is to collect these wings, and you hide them under these to indicate different dungeons. Now, how the game works is, I'm not going to probably be able to take it out, but there's a board game underneath this. So you actually play this with a board game with the console in the game. So essentially, you move around the board game and try to look for the wings. And depending on the dungeon you get in that, on the bottom of these, you would put that into the cartridge, and that would produce the dungeon for you to escape or get the wing out of. And yeah, the box does have some damage here. It's only not perfect. It is obviously a super old, but I liked it. It was very interesting, so I was like, let's buy that. That's a at least a interesting showpiece at best, at worst, maybe kind of iffy video game experience. It is multiplayer. You can play it with a friend. So there's like different classes you can pick. So I looked it up. So it's not like it's a terrible thing, but you know, you do have to put a little imagination because it is super old. The Odyssey 2, we're talking about like essentially Atari graphics here. So moving on. We got lots and lots of Switch stuff to still go through. A tiny sticker tail. Another shmup that I imagine Pad would like. Then, let's see, this is part of those, yeah, this is, what are those called, Puckio, like, where you have the little squares and you're, like, trying to make images and stuff. But with everyone's favorite Vocaloid, right? Yeah. Double Dragons Collection, which this is supposed to have, let's see, 6 classics, which includes Double Dragon Advance as well as Super Double Dragon. It has Super Advance, Double Dragon 2, The Revenge, Double Dragon 3, The Sacred Stones, and Double Dragon 4, which I think these are supposed to be the arcade versions of those, which I mean, it doesn't look like the NES sprites that I'm familiar with, unless those are both, like, unless these 4 pictures are from Advance and Super. It doesn't really, let's see, ported for the first time since its original releases. Yeah, it doesn't really say if it's the arcade versions or not, so I'm not 100% sure. This was super cheap on PlayAsia. It is some kind of weird music game. So I was like, I think it was like $7. So I was like, sure, what's that? Now, this, if I never quickly, Limited One Games did a physical release of this title on the top. But this bottom one, they did not. This is a dual set thing here, so I got that for that. I think they're supposed to be like beat-em-ups, I believe, of that. I believe this was originally a Super Nintendo game, first time being localized in America, I believe. It's like a mech shmup thing, I think. Yes, this is supposed to be originally a Super Nintendo game, shoot-em-up mech game, yeah, so. And we got the Valis collection thing. I own several of these, but I think I only skipped on one of the collections because I owned all the games that were in it, so. I finally got a copy of Let's Go Pokemon. I got the Eevee edition because who needs overweighted Pikachu, right? Eevee needs some love, you know. Kingdom Come Deliverance, the Royal Edition. This was from the Black Friday, I believe, at GameStop. Another Black Friday special, Touch Detective 3, which is, this has Touch Detective 1, 2, 3, and several games that were only available on mobile. So, this is an interesting collection because we never got 3 and we never got any of the mobile games. So, nice idea that, I don't know what the localization for 1 and 2 are like, since this is being done by the dreaded company that holds 2 Vita games still in their fucking vault. I'm still pissed at them because they're like, oh look, you can get the 1000 Spikes game. They announced in October, and they're like, hey, it's on our website, and then nothing. It's still on the website. Hasn't went up for sale at all. It's like, what the fuck? I literally took a day off for that day because I thought they were gonna put it on sale. You bastards! I literally sat there all day trying to refresh that fucking page, and they never put it on sale. Fucking bastards. I never got any games from Pix and Love, which was a publisher. They had a Black Friday special, and I snagged, I believe, 3 games from them. But this was an interesting game. It's supposed to be some kind of point-and-click game. Yeah, see, it even says it there in the top, point-and-click game. So I snagged a copy of that. The awful fake Harvest Moon franchise continues on with this complete edition with its very subpar graphics. Like, blah. Cheap as fucking Loot.com. Metaverse Keeper. I think this is supposed to be like a Gauntlet kind of thing, or Zelda's kind of experience of that. It was cheap. Cheap again on Loot.com. I do not even know how to pronounce this game. It was on sale on PlayAsia. It is an RPG. It supposedly has English on it. I don't know anything about it, but it's an RPG. It's on sale for cheap, so I snagged a copy. Tears of the Kingdom, Black Friday special. I think it was like 40 or 50 or whatever. That, you know, it wasn't fucking $69.99. That's it. So I was like, sure, I guess I'll buy it. I did get Super Mario RPG's newer version on the Switch on sale. I think it was like on sale at GameStop. I can't remember what the price was, like $19.99 or $15 or something. I don't remember. It was up fucking sale, and I was like, why not? I used my $5 coupon, and I was like, sure, why not? Why not? Oh my god, still, like, we're not even halfway done here. It's still going. Gundam Versus. Use the $5 coupon on it. The Last of Us 2. I do have to talk about this. So, The Last of Us 2. I did not know The Last of Us 2 is a 2-disc thing. So. Oh, what's that? I hear some rattling. Oh, it's just the second tray. Oh. Oh, no. Oh, I see now. Shit, the little thing's broke. Fuck. That sucks. Well, I have a dozen replacement cases. That's what I was going to talk about. So, The Last of Us 2. My Walmart had a whole bunch of copies of this. I mean, a bunch. And they were $5 each. And I was like, huh. So I looked up how much it was going for. And, yeah, like, I was able to get, like, I think at GameStop it was, like, $17.99 credit, so I was like... And I even tried some of the pawn shops and stuff and got a few 20s out of some of the copies. So, yeah, like, I made a little bit of money on The Last of Us. That's how you get your gaming hobby paid for, you know. So I essentially funded my copy and got some spare money and stuff in a lot of cases. I got, like, I think I'm not sure how, like, I mean, like, maybe about like 12 or 13 spare cases of that. I did trade a few of them sealed to the pawn shops to maximize a little bit of the return, because I mean, I do have a lot of PS4 cases, but these ones have the little dual disc thing, but I don't know too many games I would need that as a replacement for, but hey, it never hurts, right? This was getting targeted by scalpers in the Video Games Plus, did a reprint of it. I snagged a copy of it. I'm not really familiar with it. I'll admit, I just snagged it because it became well. So I was like, well, just in case, you know, that don't have to worry about it down the road, you know. Don't want to worry about it down the road. Finally got Clock Tower Rewind, and I'm very happy to actually announce, if you remember when I talked about Limited One Games when they announced this, I talked about I was very disappointed the fact they didn't do the PS1 version, because technically the PS1 version added content to connect to the sequel, which came out as Clock Tower 1 here on the PS1. But interestingly, they actually added that content into the SNES version in this, along with a few other things like running on stairs, which was not in the original version. Now you can play the original experience or the rewind or whatever the hell they called the version with the additional content. So this, I take back what I said in that. The video didn't tell us that they were doing that shit, but this is now a more better opinion on that. Hello, Corsa. How you doing? We are slowly breaking down the wall. Break down the wall. Animal Well, this is supposed to be like a Metroid type game that was by what's his name? Donkey. My arch nemesis Donkey, the RPG hater. Every RPG lover's arch nemesis Donkey breaking into the game industry. Hopefully it's pretty good though. This was on sale. No, actually, wait. This was a limited one release. Never mind. It was just a limited one release. Yeah. And the port that limited one funded. SK, you know. Let's see. I'm happy but poor. I just born $700 for two 24 terabyte hard drives on discount because mine is getting full. Wow. I wish I had 24 terabytes. I don't even have 1 terabyte. I have like 900 and something gigabytes. Man, would I love to have that. That would help me so much. Jurassic Park Evolution got for $10 as you can see there. System Shock, the remake. I'm not familiar with System Shock's remake or the original. Original is supposed to be very beloved, but I'm not very familiar with it or the remake. See, I will have soon. Right now I have a... Hell, even those I would like. Sea of Stars. I got cheaper than that, I believe. It was on GameStop's Black Friday sale. Poor Gerard moved from the game. I know Leo was excited about this game. This, I believe, is a port of a mobile RPG, but the main character was named Leo, so Leo was kind of excited about it just because of that. Haven't really heard a lot about this, so I think probably didn't do too well, sadly, probably. You have tons of terabytes in disc format, though. Yeah, probably if I combined all my discs, I would probably have gajillions. Probably cajillions. Yes, there's still way so much. There's so much here. We're not even like close to like halfway. We're working on it. We're getting down now. We're working on it. You know, I just realized like I had this pointed up a little bit more, and I kind of what a shame. You know, I'm gonna we can't let this cross the guy with no one did this. So we do that so you can have a nice push. No, it's still full. But the station box. I made it way too high. I was like, push right? There we go. Much better, yeah? Yes, it's Isha, you know, my mascot, you know, the killer. You see the 3D model sitting on the side here, and I went around. Yes, it's my killer. It was a very, very expensive custom plush. But it's very nice. She did a very lovely job on it in the Komodo outfit for it. Sadly, the person does not do commissions anymore. COVID kind of did them, like, I mean, they didn't die, but I mean, like, COVID was hard on them. So they kind of just retired. So, I'm not really sure what they did. I know they deleted their Twitter account, so... I have no idea what they're doing now, or if they even thought about going back to doing plushies of that. And with, you know, things getting more expensive, I mean, I think that was about $300 for me. Probably one of the more expensive non-electronical things I've ever bought. Yeah, she did a lot. I mean, like, if her website exists, like, she had shitload. Like, she's done hundreds of custom of OCs, anime characters, video game characters. She had a bajillion of them. She actually has, she puts a button and a tag on it. I'll show it off because I don't think I ever really showed it off on camera before. So, that was her company. You could try looking it up and see if the website still exists and the tag on there. But, yeah, she did a very nice job on her. And she has a nice fluffy tail. Gotta have a fluffy tail and fluffy ears. Always watching over the world, Aces, yeah? Anyway, we got side distracted. But feel free to take a look and see if she still exists, at least in the website. Because she had lots and lots of plushies. So, if it still exists, you can definitely take a gander at them. Because like I said, she deleted her Twitter, so you can't obviously look at them there. So, anyway, let's move on. We still have so many freaking games, you know? Of course, we got Alan Wake 2. I got at full price. It is probably one of the few games I will buy for $70 because I wanted to try and send that fucking message to Epic. I want to buy your shit physically, please. I would like to buy it with as much of a complete version as you can, please. Probably won't really work, but hey, the only way you can try and get change is to vote with your wallet. Yeah, she probably got rid of her website then. Whip. What a shame. She had so many plushies. So, you know, funnily, like, near the end of last year, I came across a tweet where somebody was showing off, like, 5 plushies they got with her. So, the European version of Mad Max. You know, I got into the whole Metal Saga thing, so I heard Mad Max was okay, so I got this super cheap. I think I got it for like $9 or $8 that. Watch Dogs Legion, I got a sealed copy for $2.99. Let's see, this was a Konami game. It's supposed to be a shmup game. It was apparently very under the radar. It was like on sale for like $10 on Amazon. So I was like, I guess. This is supposed to be a survival horror game. Not too familiar with it. Supposedly you get different endings depending on how many times you die or something. So, I think I got for 10-ish. This is the Police 2. Got it off loot.com, I believe, for like $5. Now, this I'm a little pissed. I did get this on a sale too. Limited One Games did a complete version of this. I think it was only for the Switch too, which is a bit of a shame too. But yeah, it's supposed to be, I believe, a survival game, kind of like Stalker, I believe. So I did order that version, so I have that to look forward to. First game, you know. It's the challenge of something. It's interesting. Okay. Yeah, supposedly Limited One did a like complete Switch version. I ordered it because I was like, of course, I gotta get more money. Smile for Me. I think this is supposed to be some kind of weird point click type game or something. Join 2 inhabitants and then don't let you find. I don't know. It was cheap. It was on sale for Black Friday, so I got that. Strictly Limited. One of my pre-orders was Strictly Limited. Finally got here. I got Release 82. It was a very hybrid, as in between game before Stalker 2 started. I heard Stalker 2 came out incredibly broken. I heard it was such a joke when it came out. I don't know about now. I would hope it's Bill. Thousands and thousands of games. Welcome to my local GameStop. I'm here funding GameStop. Ha. By funding, I mean I am GameStop, but I'm better than them. Well, you gotta keep in mind, this is like my entire life. Like, I didn't get these in like 1 year, you know. Well, I mean, this stuff I got in like 6 months, but I mean, like my everything I own, I've gotten through the course of my life. So, you know. So let's look at some of the more box stuff here. We got the unreleased Mystery Shantae game that supposedly was in development for the Advance, but then canceled. But then Limited One Games like, make it so and we'll make it. And now here it is, the game that takes place between 1 and 2. The Strange and Mystery 1.5 in the series. I buy one game each half the year, maybe 2 sometimes. But, yes, so this is supposed to have the concept of rotating the world, and it is a GBA cartridge. I don't know if they plan on making, like, a Switch or PS4, PS5, or whatever kind of editions of this game. It is a GBA game, so, I would probably prefer that better than a bootlegged GBA cartridge myself. But just an off chance they don't do that, I bought it because I do like Shantae. Shantae is very nice. And it is very nice. There is a little controversy about this. Some people opened up their cartridges and making claims that they supposedly used salvaged GBA parts. Allegedly. I do want to say allegedly. Allegedly. There is some debate on whether that's true or not, or whether that might only affect stolen copies or not. So, yeah, a little bit of a spicy meatball. But, yes, it is a game that they canceled, supposedly, and with this opportunity, they decided to finish it. So, it is a unreleased GBA game released out into the wild yonder. So currently, as far as I know, this is the only way to get this game now, as of right now. Like I said, as far as I know, I don't know if there's any plans of them putting this on the Switch or anything. So, this is currently the only way to get this game, other than piracy, of course. Which, to be fair, pirates are getting a bit of a knife stab in them. As far as I know, it has no other release currently. Like I said, I hope they do, because I'd rather have a more real version than a bootleg GBA cartridge, if you get what I mean. Of course, and trophies always look nice on PlayStation. So, interestingly, while we're talking about piracy, if you're wanting to sail the 7 seas, you might have trouble finding that too, because apparently... and I honestly, considering how Limited One Games is, I would full-heartedly believe they probably did this on purpose, but apparently, emulators cannot recognize the ROM because it is not, quote-unquote, properly labeled for the emulation to boot the game. So, interestingly enough, it is having problems for anyone who wants to make backup copies or sail the 7 seas. I imagine that will probably get quickly fixed, I imagine, but still strangely odd. Again, I imagine it was probably on purpose. But hey, who knows? I don't know. That's my 2 cents. Anyway, let's move on. We got Super Dungeon Maker from Pentium Games. These people haven't released anything in ages. So finally, they're getting some more shit shipped out. This is supposed to be basically the Legend of Zelda Maker, where, like, you know, there's Mario Maker, this is the Legend of Zelda Maker. People want Nintendo to make one. Nintendo expressed no interest in making one, so this indie company decided, we're going to fill that shoe, we're going to do that, and there they go. They did it. They have done it. Oh yes, these are very nice. I don't think I have an opened one anywhere that. So, it's a slipcover, and it's a slipcover in a slipcover. So you got this thick slipcover, and then the game is inside. If you ever seen those kind of black plastic covers for NES cartridges, it's in a red one that's shaped like a Switch cartridge. So it's double slipcovered. Podium takes forever to release any of those shit, but I will give them that they do make very nice looking stuff. But I would rather them just get to the fucking game instead of do all this, honestly, because the wait time has been pretty bad on a lot of their releases. They're getting up there with strictly limited, and honestly, I'm starting to worry they might be getting like Force Plus Games, which is currently the worst limited print company out there. They are super behind, and I have seriously not bought any of those shit for several years now, because I literally have an order with them that's like 5 years old now. And like, it's like, what the fuck is wrong with you people? Well, they hadn't said anything for a little while prior to you showing up, so they probably peaced out. I mean, we've been going on for 50 minutes now, so yeah, this is a little bit long, and Twitch wants to play ad. Let's go ahead and delay that for now. We probably won't be able to delay it forever, but we can do a little delay. Oops. Don't hit all the wires. No! Anyway, let's get moving on. We still have some stuff. We got Bonk the Investigator from Red Art Games. This is supposed to be a very fun point-and-click detective game. Heard very good stuff about. I have followed this dev for a very long time. And, beard. Yes, beard. At least I hope it's a beard. Could it be a mustache? I don't know. But anyway, this dev actually did some console ports of a few. Actually, you know, I just realized there's like weird little bumps in there. Is that supposed to be for blind people? I didn't even notice that until now. Did they actually put like the title on here in Braille? I've never heard of that. I'll have to ask the dev about that. I have not noticed that. I have not noticed that. That's very odd. But anyway, this dev helped consoleize another dev's games, and I played a few of those. So this is this dev's first time actually doing a game, as far as I understand. I think they might have one other game before this. But anyway, I heard good things about this, so I'm excited to get to try it. Hopefully here sometime soon. Hopefully. That's a good point, but yeah, like I'm not sure. Maybe it's something to do with the game, because like I said, it's a detective story. So maybe Braille is like part of the like case or something. Maybe that's why it's still. Wouldn't it be cool if there was like an actual like in-game thing for it, like the codec code on the back of Metal Gear Solid 1 on the PS1? But that wouldn't really make sense because it came out as a digital game first, so I wouldn't see that being the case likely, but that'd be a neat thing. We got the Walking Dead Saints and Sinners, Chapter 2. I really liked the original game, even though it was pretty iffy with the move controls. So I'm really looking forward to trying this with the PS5 headset. This will very likely be the very first thing I use the second VR headset with. Interestingly, this did get a limited PS4 release that is also VR, so you can't play this with the original PS4 headset too. Not this copy, obviously. You have to get the PS4 copy. But yeah, I have not tried it out yet, but I look forward to it because it looks like such a huge upgrade over the PS4 VR stuff. I mean, the controls alone look like a huge upgrade, because the wands like were rarely half decent for most of the games on PS4. The headset itself was okay, but the move wands were awful. The wands were awful for like 80% of the games. There's a reason Resident Evil 7 just used a controller with the VR headset. So, yeah. We got Coffee Talk, Episode 2. Strictly Limited did a physical for the first Coffee Talk. Now, there was a bundle version of this, but as I said, I only have Coffee Talk 1, so I didn't see any reason to get the bundle version. Unless it was like on a deep sale or something, which it wasn't. It's an expensive one. I did enjoy a number of PS4 VR games. You gotta keep in mind, I played PlayStation VR was my first VR. And yeah, if I, compared to the Index, yes, it's underpowered. Is it unplayable? No, it's only playable. But like I said, the move wands... the move wands will, at best, okay for some games, and at worst, a disaster. Well, you know, PC Master Race people can't ever be happy. We got two more delays before we'll have to let Twitch do its ad. So I used the second one, so we got one more left. So let's keep going here. We gonna make it? Probably not. This was on sale on Loot.com. I think it was $20 of that. This is the Grand Blue Fantasy Wii Link. It is actually a very hefty collector's box here. It has, supposedly, let's see, some art cards, art book and stuff and that. I'm not very familiar with these. I believe this is the second game of that. But it was on sale, and I was like, sure, why not? Let's get it. But yeah, it's pretty heavy, to be honest. Pretty hefty. Now, here's an interesting one. I got this for $10. This is supposed to be a survival game where you live and drive a car. So you drive around and look for shit to survive with and that. So, interesting idea. I don't think I've really seen a survival game that lets you actually drive around and you have to keep fixing your car and shit and stuff. So, sounded interesting. I looked up and I was like, oh, sounds interesting. And it's only $10, so I was like, snag. Well, if you had fun with it, then this means it's fine for you, because having fun is what counts, indeed. I always think having a good time is the most important thing with video games. Not every video game has to be a good time. Sometimes, you know, having a depressing, sad game can make it interesting, fun in its own, you know, for story and that. But overall, I do feel the most important factor is to have fun. And, I mean, there definitely were some fun PlayStation 4 VR games. Admittedly, most of them were stuff you could also get on PC. So, it's not like there were too many exclusives. There were a small handful. Europe had a whole bunch of physical VR games we didn't even get available in America. So, I have a bunch of those. So, yeah, I got a fair number of VR games still for the PS4, let alone the few I got for the PS5. Let's see. Oh, I saw this one. I saw someone playing it. $10 is just a bit above production cost for a disc in the box. I like a very cheap deal. Do you have a Steam Deck as well? I do not have a Steam Deck. I don't likely have a lot of interest in a Steam Deck. If I was to get a Steam Deck, it would be to probably play my GOG games. And I heard you do have to do a little walk around to get to boot stuff that isn't on Steam, but you can do it. So I don't really know if I would really bother with a Steam Deck. I mean, yeah, I could use it for emulation and shit too, but you know, I could do that on a PC. So, and the thing is, you can be like, oh, it's on the go, and I mean, that's cool too. But the thing is, like, I have, you know, a bazillion handhelds. I got a DS, a 3DS, a GBA, a Game Boy. Like, I have plenty of handheld games that I still have to play. So I'm not in any rush to make more modern games portable. Cool. And nothing wrong with that. It's just, I have, like, plenty of handheld games for portability, so I'm just like, I don't really I don't really need it at the moment. Maybe in the future, maybe. Ooh. Yeah, I made that mistake with some of my old SNES stuff. I remember selling my copy of Super Mario RPG Legends 7 stars. Stupid me, stupid me, stupid me. Luckily, most of the stuff I did want back when I was a kid, I do own again. But, yeah, I used to do that when I was young, too. I mean, you didn't get money out of the sky, you know. You didn't get money out of the sky, so... Anyway, we got still many, many more things here. We got the new version of Outer Wilds, which has all the DLC and stuff on it. It is important to note the original versions that came out did not have it applied to the disc by mistake. They did make revised versions, and this is a revised version, so that has all the DLC on it. And yes, Limited One Games did do a original version of that, and last delay on the ad. We're not going to be able to delay it anymore. We're going to eventually have that ad, ladies and gentlemen, so get ready for it. So, yeah, that's a more complete version. I've heard very good things about that game, so I was like, I guess. It was on sale, too, which of course helps. The odd PS4 version of Star Wars Jedi Survival, which is actually complete, which cannot be said about the PS5 and Xbox versions that you have to actually download the rest of the game for. What a bizarro case, right? The previous gen version is an actual complete game. A little buggy, but this does not need updated to actually get the full play of it. So, very strange. Very strange. Neon White. This is supposed to be like some kind of weird FPS speedrunning thing. Not really my cup of tea. Was on sale. Sale, sale, sale. It's always on sale. I hate game studios for this. My Wolfenstein 2 for the Switch is not complete. Yeah. There's a lot of Western games, and man, I don't know, Corsa, if you've been paying attention to the Switch 2 shit. I am very disappointed in Nintendo and a lot of third-party companies with the Switch 2. I don't know if I'm even getting a Switch 2 anytime soon if things don't change. Ugh, yeah. Bethesda and Microsoft have not been very nice about Switch versions of their games. Along with a few other companies like the Borderlands shit, same way on Switch. Oh, I am probably not getting one anytime soon. I am so disappointed. Doom and gloom. Doom and gloom. I mean, other than Nintendo's games, there are only fucking 4 actual real games being published on it, and literally every other thing is a fucking game key. And yes, there's the Terms of Service thing that just happened recently too, which is pretty crazy as well. And to be fair, as much as the $80 price obviously upset me, if you watch my original Switch 2 video I made it very clear I am not I'm not a supporter of $70, let alone $80. Yes, the game keys versus the actual cartridges. So Nintendo's games are going to be all on cartridges so far, and there's only four known games that are also going to be on cartridges from third-party developers. Everything else is a game key. So, yeah. Not really excited about the Switch 2. At all. Now, who knows? Maybe in a few years it'll get better and there'll be more physical cartridges versus the game key cartridges. But, yeah. As it stands, Nintendo can keep their piece of shit Switch 2 as far as I care. I don't care about right now. Now, I feel like there is the potential it could get better. It could get better down the road. Because if you remember when the original Switch came out, there was the whole dreaded Switch taxes. Oh, the cartridges cost more, which they do, to be fair. But Nintendo was passing that to the developers, and some of the developers passed that to us. So that's why some Switch versions were more than their PlayStation, Xbox equivalents. And that kind of faded in the background. We don't really see that very often anymore. But it was very common when the Switch first came out. So there might be a chance that might have a similar effect with the game keys, maybe. Yeah, you need to make sure the weed, and that's assuming they properly label them, which, yeah, there's some feels they might not actually do that. Video Games Plus and PlayAsia both have vowed to properly label game key games on their website, so that will definitely help. And I do buy a lot of my brand new games via Video Games Plus, so that would work out for me if I was to eventually get a Switch 2. But yeah, right now it's not in the cards. Yep. Games are pretty buggy. We're lucky if a game is somewhat compatibly alright. And some do start off well in the beginning of that. This is supposed to be a survival horror game. I hear very good things about. Looking forward to hopefully playing that sometime in the future. This was on sale. I think it was like $8. It's some kind of like card game dungeon game. I'm not really sure, but I was like, yeah, sure, why not? It has like a bajillion DLCs with it, so. And we are at a 4-minute counter for the ad, FYI, so. Yeah, that's, like I said, when it's like 10 or below, and it looks somewhat interesting, usually I'll buy. So, of course, we have Visions of Mana. I love Mana, so I had to get this. It's such a shame this company got fucking shut down before the game even came out. What a shithole. How could they? They didn't even see if the fucking game was gonna do well. And then Thunderway, which was a PlayAsia exclusive. It's a Punch-Out-esque game, so Punch-Out. This is a PAL PS4 VR game I found at the pawn shop here. I was kind of surprised. How much was it? It was $15. So I was kind of like, why not? I do not own it, so I was kind of like, yeah, Secret of Mana. Though, personally, I'm more of a fan of the third one, which is, what did they call it in America now? Now that it actually got a Trials of Mana. They called it Trials of Mana. I am a very big fan of Trials of Mana. Trials of Mana was amazing. Well, I mean, like, it has like a Volux DLC, but then, yeah. I was just like, why not? I think that's when I was getting rid of those copies of Lord of the Wings Golem I got from Woot.com for some money, so I was kind of like being generous. Otherwise, I would probably just went and got a used copy on the internet. Silent Hill 2's remake. I've heard good things overall about, so we'll probably eventually get this, which is supposed to be a very big puzzle game. I haven't even played the original. I hear they're pretty tough puzzles, so. Now, here's a really weird game. This is 2 games, and they're supposed to be those kind of games where shit is kind of like, I don't know, it's kind of backroomy, where you like repeating the area and things are slowly changing and shit. It was on cheap on PlayAsia. Supposedly has English on it, so could be for a good creepy time. All Japanese. It's supposedly supposed to have English on it. And then there was what is this called? What was it? Oh yeah, there it is. Like it's in the slit head of that. It's supposed to be a survival horror RPG. Well, not RPG. It's a survival game, not a survival horror RPG. It's a survival game. And it's supposed to have this like concept where you like possess people or some shit. This was on sale on Woot.com though, so I got a bit cheaper than its normal price. Another thing we got on Woot.com, Cuisine, This was published by Xseed. It is a interesting looking little game that I was excited about it being announced, and it hasn't even been out that long, and it was already on sale on Woot.com, so I was like, okay, I'm down for getting a deal. And then we got another thing that was on sale on Woot.com, another Yeez game. Another Yeez. Something that was not on sale on Woot.com that I bought for full price was the 100 line Last Defense Academy limited edition. This is from the Danganronpa creator. Oh, we're about to hit an ad, so I might want to wait on that one. We'll come back to that. Let me know when the ad's over. We'll do some lesser things here. That we'll get back to that. Let me know when it's over. That, or maybe it'll bug out. Sometimes it bugs out, and so if it bugs out, then we can continue. So, but let me know. We'll do a few side ones here. The Beyond Good and Evil Anniversary. We still do not have Beyond Good and Evil 2 yet. Lost in Development Hell, sadly. This is a very expensive GBA game. Okay, well, I guess the ad thing bugged. Good to know, Twitch is always working. This is a very expensive Game Boy Advance game that got ported. Very weird to see a Game Boy Advance game ported to the PS5. Whoa! But hey, like I said, it's very expensive, so you're not going to see me complain too much. This is limited one as well. Yeah, not familiar with this game. Don't know. Players of Feel. This is the people who made the Silent Hill 2 remake. FYI. Okay, well, I guess the ad thing bugged. So anyway, back to the 100 line. So this is from the Danganronpa creator. This is his new game. He left Spike Chunsoft wanting to do his own shit. Probably because he did not want to make the 5 millionth Danganronpa game. So this is a tactics RPG. And it is very Danganronpa-like. The characters and the art style and shit is still very Danganronpa. But it's a tactics game. Supposedly, like, these monsters have taken over the city, and you have to survive 100 days in this school and shit. So, I've heard people are really loving this game. This was a very expensive limited edition, by the way. This was a big risk at giving my support to this guy. I love this guy's games. He's given me immense fun and fucked up mysteries with his mind. And I gave him my opportunity to support his game in hopes that it becomes successful, and hopefully the hell this is a decent build, I hope. Because the overtime, I have not started it yet, obviously, but maybe after the Nostalgia Gaia, if overtime is not going on, I'm hoping to maybe start that. Supposedly has like 100 endings, so we're probably not going to see all the endings, but we might try for a few different ones depending on things, so not sure how that'll go. We'll have to figure it out along the way. About tactics, truly fell in love with a Game Boy called Advance Wars, or as it's known in Japan, the Famicom Wars. I am hating myself for not giving it a try back in the past now that I know how else. I beat 1 and 2, I believe. I know I beat 1 for sure. I believe I beat 2. Yeah, I did. I beat 2 because I never finished Dual Strike, which was the third game on the DS. I got like near the end, and I don't know. I just didn't really get encouraged to finish this like flying mission that was with like Eagle. That I don't know. I bounced off and just never finished it. I do own all the Advance War games of the Famicom War games. Obviously, America never got all the older games that actually were called the Famicom Wars on other devices. It's very odd how Advance Wars when Famicom Wars became Advance Wars, that it was kind of like screwed up in Japan. Like, for the longest time, they didn't even get proper releases of most of the games. Later on, they got a few, but yeah, Advance Wars is like really like strangely niche in Japan, like, and hardly like available. Like, there's a really good video that talks about its Japanese counterparts, changes they made to some of the sprites, and the history of the very few opportunities to actually own legit copies of the games. It is very strange history in Japan, considering the games prior to the Advance Wars, the Famicom Wars, which were like on, I think there's one on most of their consoles, the Famicom, Super Nintendo, the handhelds. I'm not too familiar with the Famicom War games, but I know there's several of them of that. But they play basically just like Advance Wars, which is why they'll commonly associate with each other in the grander scheme of things. I do not own any of the non-Advance War ones, though, so something to hopefully check out one day. Yeah. Anyway, we still got probably half the table is probably gone now, but we still have a lot. So let's keep going. We got quite a bit. So let's see. We have this is a Chinese RPG series that got localized. I'm not too familiar with it, but RPG. I'm the RPG man. Dave the Dival. I don't know a lot about this game. I seen some hobbaloo about it on Twitter. It was $10 at Walmart of all places. Walmart's mysterious clearances. Oh, the strange, mysterious clearance of Walmart strikes again. But yeah, I was like, oh, I think it's normally $29.99. So you know, I know Super Whale Games. Not familiar with this, but it has a very nice aesthetic. It looks very interesting. Another one, like basically these three, like a lot of, like I have to give Super Whale Games some credit because a lot of times I don't know most of these games that they grab. So, but yeah, I'm not familiar with any of these. So wow. Let's see, another Whoop.com sale. This is an interesting game. Oh, this basket I'm putting all these games in is starting to overflow. So this game is a very odd game. So from what I understand, this is a kind of a, you know how the Tower of Babylon, like, language was like lost or some shit, like related that. So like you're like climbing up a tower or something, and you have to figure out the people's language. Well, like, if I remember correctly, like, when the Tower of Babylon was destroyed, like, quote-unquote, universal language was lost, and supposedly that's why, you know, there's so many different languages and, you know, religious senses. But, yeah, this game, you have to figure out language with these tribes you encounter. So, interesting idea. I don't know how I feel about it. I feel like I would have trouble with that game, but it was on sale, and it is a unique idea. I am always down for giving a unique idea a shot, so I was like, why not? Maybe I'll really like it. Ooh, get some water. Water. Anyway, let's work on some more of the stuff in the back here. Also, if you never saw my t-shirt, look, more branding. You can buy your own at Teespring. Just click the link down below. Buy your own now. And that's actually serious. You can buy your own, actually. Paradise Killer. I do have a Switch version of this that came from a limited print company, but this was on sale, and you know, always say like I'd rather get a PlayStation version. Basically, unless the Switch version is more complete, has more like DLC stuff on it, compared to the PlayStation counterparts. I would whittle, or in the very rare scenario, actually one's better. Like if the PlayStation version's completely broken or something. Not a very common situation, but there are a few. If it doesn't really meet those, I'd whittle play the PlayStation version, because at least trophies can add a little extra replay. I don't know. Debatable. Debatable. I would still consider myself a bit chubby, so... another Sword Fairy game. Anyone familiar? Play Asia localized one of these. I think it was the 7th one. I think this is the 8th one. So, this was on sale. It was Black Friday special. Basically, the Security Forge, the company that published the website, had a Black Friday thing. So the games you see with it probably came from that. The Marvel and Capcom Fighting Collection Arcade Classics. The sequel just came out, which has a bunch of Dreamcast fighting games on it, and I think the SNK versus Capcom on there. This has X-Men, The Punisher, Marvel Superheroes, X-Men vs. Street Fighter, Marvel vs. Capcom, Marvel vs. Capcom 2, Marvel Superheroes vs. Street Fighter. So we got a lot of the versus games on here. I believe the Punisher game is the only kind of odd game. Like all the others are fighters. I think the Punisher is like more of a beat 'em up. I think I don't quite remember that. But hey, I'm not gonna complain. More arcade ports, please. We love arcade ports. We love arcade games. And if I can not hit the leg of my camera, that would be nice too. But yeah, the sequel collection, which has a whole bunch of Dreamcast stuff. Power Stone. Lots of Power Stone. Anyway, Saints Row. Anyone want to guess how much I paid for this? How much did I pay for Woke Saints Row? We're taking bids. Can you guess how much I paid for Saints Row for the PS5? We're taking bids. Please put your bids. Super Whale Games release of Postal Brain Damage. Burn it now. I'm not familiar with this game, but it's another Super Whale release. $5. You are a winner. I indeed used my GameStop coupon of $5 to get that for nothing. And we have another Super Whale release, which I'm not familiar with this one either. It has a very creepy looking vibe to it though. Well, I mean, I guess technically I got it with the points that I got with trading stuff in that paid for my GameStop Pro membership. So I guess technically there was some work around it. But now I do not get points for trading in anymore. So we have new methods that we have to do to circumvent GameStop so we can keep earning money. Break the system. Yeah, pretty much. I figured we could do like a ha-ha stream maybe of it one day, you know, just like, yeah, this is garbage, and then make a garbage review and be like, yep, it's garbage. It's garbage. I don't even know what the fuck they were thinking with the game. It's the most it makes no sense what the fuck they were thinking with it, honestly. Like, hey, let's take a super non-political, politically incorrect game and make it politically correct. Like, it's like taking the Man Show and making it about being a gentleman. Look, the Man Show, for anyone who's not familiar with the Man Show, was how to put it, it was a very sexist show about, like, ogling women, basically. It was very famous for having, what is that guy's name? He's like a fucking news fucking host dude now, but, Jimmy Kimmel. Jimmy Kimmel was one of the hosts for the Man Show. He's a hypocritical fucking douchebag who judges people now, but he was a host on The Man Show, so fuck off. Like, there's literally an episode where Jimmy Kimmel's like fucking reaching down people's pants and shit. Like, fuck off, Jimmy Kimmel. You have no right to fucking judge anyone. You were one of the last people to fucking judge anyone. Fuck off. Anyway, yeah, like, it's like really like weird to fucking take Saints Row and change it so radically. It was so strange. So, yeah. I have played Saints Row 1. I never beat it. I got really far, and I just kind of got, like, Like, open world games, I was so burnt out in the PS2 and early 360 era. It's just really hard for me to really like an open world game most of the time at this point. So... Oh, but it's used. Buying it used does not support it. If it's brand new, that'd be different. This is used. See? Pre-owned. Pre-owned doesn't support them. And they were long dead anyway. By the time I got this, they were dead anyway. So even if it was brand new, it would still not matter. Because they have been shit-canned long ago. Like several years now. So... it wouldn't even matter if it was somehow a fucking, like, brand new copy for $5. It wouldn't matter at this point. Anyway, let's move on. We still have more stuff. We got Sword Art Online, which was, again, on sale on Woot.com. I'm starting to notice a pattern of buying too many cheap things off Woot.com. Is it just me? Maybe it is. Oh yeah, I'm sure one day Dan will probably be like, hey, let's vote that up. I can make him suffer. I mean, I'm already playing the Lord of the Wings Golem because of Dan. You know, really, strangely, assuming nothing new crops up by the time we finish it, I will have to say I will probably give it a kind of a neutral review, probably. I mean, yes, it needed a lot more time in the oven, but overall, it's still a functioning game, just needed more time in the oven. Really. Now, is it a great game? Not my cup of tea, personally, but, I mean, we're getting through it. I mean, honestly, I was expecting to be way more frustrated than I have been with it. Like, there's only been a few moments that have been super frustrating. So, yeah. Have you seen how Bethesda, who is now owned by Microsoft, made a remake? Oh, yeah, Oblivion. Yeah, I mean, oh wait, it breaks missions? What? Oh, no, I did not hear about that. That's funny. Let's see, Homebody, I think this was a limited release. Yeah, the limited one release. Oh, shocker. Let's see, this is another limited one release. Not familiar with it. Now this is one of those full motion video games, and it was also done by Limited One. Like, it's kind of weird how full motion video games have kind of had a little indie comeback. This mission Oblivion, well, it is depending on you being male or female, it goes different, but now without male it makes no sense at all. Well, yeah. Trying to appeal to people, so... this, I was very excited to get. I remember hearing about this game, and I waited and waited for somebody to fucking publish it, and when they went finally got very colorful looking game. Then, one of the weirdest things I've ever seen Metal Slug have is Metal Slug Tactics. I love Metal Slugs, and I love tactics games, so I'm very interested in this mashup. Snow Brothers Wonderland. I've never really played the Snow Brothers on the SNES. It's a very expensive cartridge. Very expensive, so I'm not very too familiar with it. This game reminds me of like an old action figure that was a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles action figure, and I don't even know what it was called. It was weird. Like, this is something like Doom Cook FPS game. It looks pretty crude. A Wet Art game. This is a sequel to a Famicom game that was very popular in Japan and very expensive. I hope they do a collection with it, because it's very expensive. These are beloved characters who are familiar with Sunsoft in Japan, so. But yeah, and this was actually localized, the Famicom version was localized in Europe, though they changed, I believe, this cat character into a lizard, if I remember correctly. So, very interesting little game, because they were kind of like considered mascot characters for Sunsoft for a long time, and then they just kind of fell off the face of the planet. So, very interesting release that pop out of nowhere. Red Art Games localized that version. Now, those who have been following my reviews know I did a review of Sunsoft is Back, which was a collection of 3 Famicom games that did not include that one game. If they did another collection, it would be very nice to see that game on there, because it's never been localized in America at least, and like I said, it is very expensive, so that would be very nice, but we'll see, maybe one day. Anyway, yeah, things are getting pretty stacked here. There's a lot of shit here. Holy kajibbles. Well, on the upside, I got some space here, so we can probably just start stacking stuff over here. So let's shift this over. Shift this forward here. So we got all the remaining stuff was here in the front now. Yes, we are probably to the last quarter of this stuff. This is probably like, if I was to guess, like the stuff here from Black Friday. So we're probably talking about a half year's worth of shit here. We have been needing to do this for quite a while, as you can probably guess. Anyway, let's move on. Let's do a few more of the PS4 stuff, and then go through the stack of more older console stuff that we haven't really touched here. So, let's see. We got High on Life, the Game of the Year edition. This is from the creators of Rick and Morty. It's supposed to be about this gun you have that's alive. It's supposed to be incredibly funny, quote unquote. So, I have not personally played it. I've seen a few clips of it, so. But that's supposedly supposed to have all the content, so always nice. We have one of the King of Fighter games. The Very Strange Felix the Cat Collection, which is the NES and Game Boy Felix the Cat game. The NES game I hear is a very fun game. I do like Felix. I did watch the more modern cartoon that was in my generation. Felix the Cat, with a wonderful, wonderful cat. A bag of tricks and always wins. Na 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 na. Also, I always remember that movie, like, if anyone ever watched Felix the Cat movie, that was a wild ride. But I've never played the NES game. I believe the NES game is also very expensive, so this is a nice way of getting that these days. Please play it. Please play it. Need to play it. Ooh, we got a lot of recommendation. We have a combo pack. Was this a limited one? Yes, this is a limited one as well. I'm not familiar with these. I think they're shmup games. Yes, they look like shmup games. Probably something Pad would be possibly familiar with. Ooh. No falsies, please. Never watched. You never watched Felix the Cat? You do know Felix Cat is credited as one of the oldest fucking cartoons of animation, right? It is definitely down there with the, I don't know if it's considered the first. I mean, you know, as I've said time and time again, you should always be very cautious to call something the first. I've spent my life seeing the Force change for so many genres of things. So, I would be very, very cautious about saying the Force, but definitely down there in the great grandfathers of fucking cartoon animations that... Well, start voting it up. I'm sure you have some points you can use. Start getting it voted. You can do it now. Vote now for your High on Life. We want you to vote for your game. You use your Twitch points. your Twitch points. You know, like you see down there, see down here, you see the polling stuff here. You use your points, and you can either add to the current roster of the list, or you can add a game. So, currently we are playing through Lord of the Rings Golem, courtesy to yes, viewer request. All you do is spend your points, and you either add the title or add a point to a pre-existing title on the list. I forgot what I set the points to, though. Oh, high on life. Oh, well, there we go. Excuse me, I gotta block the camera. Have a close-up to my incredibly thick hair, though. It is glorious and hairy. Don't mind it. It is way too long. You know, it's been a long time since anyone's actually technically seen me. I'm gonna lazily put this on here for now. I will adjust it with spaces later, because I don't think everyone needs to see a giant close-up of my hair right now. There you go. It is now added on the list, so you should see it down here now. I don't know about shiny. It's pretty blah, probably pretty greasy, but you should see it not properly aligned with all the other choices, but it should be on the list now. But yeah, I will get adjusted later, because like I said, I don't think everyone needs to see a giant close-up of my hair. But if you want an idea like how long my hair is gotten pretty long. I have not cut it in a long time. It is very long. Very, very, very long. Someone told me they thought I would look nice with long hair, so I have been growing it out. So, anyway. Let's move on, shall we? So we got the Contra, I believe, is this the collection? Or was this no, I think this is one of the newer Contras, not the collection. Or is it a remake of the original? I don't know. I can't keep up with all this stuff. This is supposed to be a Microsoft game. You are not blind. You are seeing Xbox, PS5, Xbox, PS5. Dark days for Microsoft, isn't it? Yes, it is dark days for everyone's beloved Microsoft. Rugrats. This was definitely not something I ever expected to see. Pumpkin Jack, which is a limited one release. Now here's a weird game. This is a Sega game. It is called Sea Smash. I believe it is a VR game, if I remember correctly. Yes, it is a VR game. And this is going for $100 on eBay. So I could flip this for money right now, actually. But I will not. I will not be doing that. But yes, it is one of the Does It Play staff. For those who don't remember, I am part of a website community called Does It Plays. We do reports on physical media without updates on whether that physical media is being preserved properly, it's okayish, or whether it's broken as fuck or requires online to actually be functional. And it is a very big database now, and there's lots of shit on it. It's very useful for getting an idea of the physical media, of modern physical media's functionality without the internet, without the accounts, without the patches, and how decent or bad it is. So, one of the staff members on the team, Chris, was talking about how that is like a fucking $100 on eBay, and they're kind of upset not fucking getting it. So, that is why I have a bad case of buy everything or the majority of everything for Limited One Syndrome, because then if I go, oh, well, that's a neat game. I didn't even know that was from Sega until he pointed that out. I did not know Sega had anything to do with that. So if I had passed that and then changed my mind, be like, oh, now I'm kind of interested, and it's like, oh, well, it's $100 now. Now, I have not buying everything for Limited One. As I said, I skipped out on that alien shooter game that I skipped out. There's a few other little indie games I skipped out here, but I do still get a large chunk of the games at least, to be fair, though. Anyway, moving on. We have two sneaky little games in there now, and the PS4 stuff, PS4 and 5, you're going to be able to do. Actually, I said I was going to start putting some stuff back here, and I just put a bunch of those over there, so. Oh, did you hear about Doom? Like, they even fucked up the PS5 version of their Doom. It's not even playable off the disc. It needs updated. Good job, Microsoft. Fuckheads. You had one job. One job! Anyway, let's go through some other stuff that isn't the bajillion PlayStation 4 and 5 things. So, I got the Lego movie for, like, literally nothing. Now, I got this when I was in Maine. So, this is a Capcom franchise. I believe we only ever got one title from this series. But this is basically Capcom's Dynasty Warriors series. And there are multiple entries in Japan, but I'm pretty sure we only got one, and I believe it was a PS2 entry, if I remember correctly. So, this is a foreign copy. It's Japanese. And as you can see, I paid $21 for it at a store that was in Maine. But it is 3 games. So, I was kind of like, well, they'll be in Japanese. I mean, they would be in Japanese anyway, even if I bought whatever the original versions of these are even on. I'm not even really sure which entries. I'd have to look up, but like I said, I'm pretty sure only one came in English, came to America, so even if this was one of them, it's still 2 games out of it and stuff, so I was kind of like, why not? I don't have any, at least I don't remember having a, if I can stop kicking the damn foot of my camcorder, I am being bad. I somehow think they did this on purpose to force you. Well, here's my conspiracy theory. Limited One Games has done multiple Doom Revise versions. Like, they just did a new Doom 1 and 2 with all the new, like, that Sigil 1, Sigil 2, and a bunch of new maps and shit, and some new online maps and stuff. And my conspiracy theory is that down the road, Limited One Games will do a complete disc version down the road for additional sales and money. Because that definitely seems to be happening with a lot of the Bethesda games with Limited One Games, specifically with Doom for sure. So that would not surprise me at all if in a few years Limited One Games does like some complete version. Now we have Dynasty Warriors 9, which if anyone remembers when this came out, this was a glitchy fest of hell. I traded in some spare Woot.com games I got, so that $10 wasn't really much to me because I made some money off of them, so I was kind of like, hey, let's get for some laughs and giggles maybe. Yes, I played a number of Dynasty Warrior games on the PS2. I sadly have way too many that I still need to play because they got mostly stale, sadly, because, well, there's no way defending the fact they spammed the living fuck out of those games, right? Let's see, this is from that Legacy Games. It's a beat 'em up. My Hero's, My Hero One's Justice. I used a $5 coupon on that, so obviously cheaper. Hello Neighbor for $10 at Walmart's clearance. Yeah, probably a waste of money, to be honest. I mean, seriously, I tried Hello Neighbor 3 times. It's so horrifyingly bad to me. I hate it so much. I hate it so much. I can't imagine the sequel changing my mind much. Alone in the Dark, $15 clearance. And this was when it was still actually going for some money. There were 2 copies of this, and I bought the second one and traded it in for $30 at GameStop. So that one got me some spare monies. But yeah, I really like the old Alone in the Dark games. So this is supposed to be a reimagining of them. I heard the physical build. I think it was Zach who tested this version. It was Zach or Chris, I believe. But they reported it. While it's beatable, it's pretty janky. So see, this was a limited one. Not familiar with it. I am familiar with this. This is supposed to be a big platformer game. I've heard both good and bad things about it. It's very focused around a yo-yo, which is kind of interesting considering, you know, in Canada, yo-yos is a copyright thing, so I'm not sure how they get around that in Canada, but, yeah, so I've heard debates on the game being good and bad, so, but, I haven't played it personally. And then we have the Castlevania collection of the DS games with the Portrait of Ruin cover. You had the choice to pick different covers, and the nice thing about this is this came with the redone Haunted Castle, which is one of the most bizarre things I could imagine Konami deciding to do. Haunted Castle is considered one of the worst Castlevania games, along with most of the OG Game Boy Castlevania games. And you're telling me they decided to revisit Haunted Castle? So that's pretty bonkers. And of course, there is the original Haunted Castle in one of the other collections. I think it was in that Gladius Arcade collection, because that was a collection of arcade games, and Haunted Castle was an arcade game, so you can still get that more authentic experience. But honestly, Konami's been taking, I can't remember the guy. I remember one time, this one guy is like, why don't, like, everyone's, like, I think it kind of, like, applies to, like, Silent Hill 2. I'm sorry, I kicked my leg on there again. He's like, why is everyone always remaking the good games that are always good? Unless they're, like, super fucking rare, which is more understandable. But, like, why doesn't anyone go back and redo the shitty games and try to make them good? So I guess Konami's just been kind of on that bankroll, I guess. Going on. We have the Gun Vault. Absolute Tactics. I believe I got this off of Play Asia, I believe. Yes, I think this was a Play Asia purchase. It is a tactics game. One of the things I used my $5 coupon on. Yes, I know PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds is an online-only game, but I was like, well, I need to use it on something, and yeah, it's under $5, so I was like, I guess that's what I'm getting. I don't have it. I want to make a custom art for this. I'm thinking of asking a bunch of VR people if they want to line up on like some gun map or something to do a custom cover on that. I've been having fun doing that occasionally with my non-complete stuff. I finally got a copy of Marvel vs. Capcom Infinity, which is horrible, by the way. You should not get this game for, this is, so, you're German, so, I can understand you do not recognize this cover art. So, this cover art is GameStop's default artwork they put in cases that don't have, well, artwork. So, yeah, you know, advertising for GameStop shit and stuff. Very boring and plain, right? So, we will throw that away and make a fun, silly cover art like those 2 PSP games, I showed up in the early part. They're on the very bottom of the basket on the side of me. That would be incredible pain to pull out. So sadly, I will not be able to do that. But I have been making some custom arts for my cover art games here and there on random time. Anyway, terrible game. Probably the only good thing is they brought back Frank West's voice actor for some reason for this game. But totally fucked him over when it came to Dead Rising 4. But yeah, terrible game. Was on sale for Video Games Plus. I still needed it, so yeah, I snagged a copy. Metal Gear Solid 1 Master Collection Volume 1. That I don't know what the fuck they're going to put in Volume 2, because there's a lot of the series is here. There's still more stuff they can do, especially if they tap into the handheld stuff. They have Babylon on the Game Boy Color and a lot of PSP shit if they tap into that. So, but yeah. I think this is supposed to have... Does it say everything that's on here? See, you get Metal Gear Solid 1, Metal Gear Solid 2, Metal Gear Solid 3. Wasn't this supposed to have, like, the MSX games on it, too? I thought the MSX games were on here, too. Maybe I misremember what the fuck was supposed to be in there. Wet Art Games is a shmup game. Wet Art Games is a shmup game. I'm not familiar with either one, so... Shmups aren't my thing. But once in a while, there's some interesting ones, so... Let's see, Metal Gear Solid 1 was epic. 2 I finished in the PS2 as a child, but 1 was nice too, but I never had... Now, I played Twin Snakes on the GameCube. I could not, back in the day, play the PS1 version. I just could not do the top-down view at all. The FPS mode that you could go into in 2 as Wyden allowed me to look down corridors and stuff and actually, you know, be able to see soldiers fall outside the radar. I just had so much trouble just doing the top-down kind of view that the OG Solid had. And I played the Substance version, the third-person camera version of Metal Gear Solid 3, and I had a lot more fun, definitely with that control scheme. Now, nowadays, I probably could play OG Solid Snake 1, Metal Gear Solid, Metal Gear Solid. But, I don't know, I hear very bad things about Metal Gear Solid 1 on that. I hear it is very dookie looking on that collection. Probably would be better to play the actual version on a PS2 or something, maybe, but eh. But I did enjoy Metal Gear Solid 3 a lot. It is probably one of my more favorite entries. 2 is very good as well. Not that 3, not that 1's bad either, but again, I didn't really get into Metal Gear Solid until a much later point in my life. So, back in the PS1 era, I don't really have that kind of nostalgic connection to the OG one. Yes, I did like 3. Again, I played the Substance version, which also was the first instance of Metal Gear Online, which was hilarious, because you can unlock those 2 Wumble Rose wrestlers and run around and fucking body slam soldiers into the ground online. So fucking hilarious. And I loved playing Ocelot, having your bullets like fucking ricochet off walls to hit people. Little trick shots. Fun shit to do. I miss OG Metal Gear Solid Online. Pepper Grinder, this is one of Digital Devolve's first retail releases after melting their limited division down. So that was one of their first releases. The Halloween Evil Dead thing that Way Forward made. This was on sale on Loot.com. 2 little retro-ish games that didn't like the jungle theme. Snake Eater, the house flipper thing. This should be my game, right? The video game flipper meets house flipping. Let's flip some houses. That was Woot.com. Woot.com. This is an online-only game here. Woot.com, Woot.com. Seriously, I'm feeling like what, 50% of this shit came from Woot.com? Like, seriously, that's like my new living space these days. Just live off Woot.com. Anyway, moving on. Let's go through some more of the other stuff here. So we got Twag. This was a Sunsoft published game. This is a very weird survival tank control game on the PS1. I need to buff it. I got this super cheap on eBay. I've been meaning to get this for a long time, to be honest. I got reminded about it by MacGyver, and I was like, oh yeah, I still need to get that. So this needs to get buffed, and I need to see if it works. It was pretty scratched up, and I did tell the person, basically, if you give me $5 back on it, like I got for $11, I was like, if you give me $5 back to cover like buffing it, I will just not nitpick about it. So they did give me the $5, so I was like, oh, okay. I was kind of expecting them to like give me the usual, oh, you're being a crybaby. Like you said, light scratches. Now, I would love to show it to you, but anyone familiar with like cameras and photos with discs, it's usually pretty hard to show off the intensity of scratches usually, so you're probably not going to really get the effect visual, but yeah. I was like, yeah, light scratches, bullshit, that's what I expected. Weird case with the cutout in the middle. Oh, are you talking about, oh, wait, are you talking about the Wedbox thing? You talking about this? Well, I could try, but like I said, you don't usually get the depth of it too well. There's a little bit. But yeah, does that look... Oh yeah, actually, that get just the white amount of light though, actually. Does that look like very light scratches? That does not look like light scratches to me. That does not look like... So, I got $5 back on this, so this was like $6. So, if it doesn't end up working, I can probably trade it to GameStop, get a little credit back on top of that, probably. Because GameStop is stupid and don't fucking give a shit about what the condition of anything is. But, yeah, I'll be sad, but hey, I gave it a shot. But, yeah, that's why you should always be very iffy about shit. They had good waiting, to be fair. They had good waiting, but they did not show a picture of the back. And the second I saw they did not show a picture of the back of the CD and say it was light scratches, I was like, yeah, I'm pretty sure this is probably not accurate, but hey. Sometimes it pays off to take the risk, you know? Yes, that's why I said I need to buff it. Luckily, one of the new stores that opened up in the town that I work in actually offered to buff it for free. He just keeps not feeling well, but I kind of think he's just saying it, so I'll keep showing up, but he'll eventually do it, I think. But yeah, if he does it for free, it's even less of a loss on me. If not, it's like $3 to buff it at the pawn shop. But yeah, I'm gonna get buffed, see if it works. And if not, then I'll probably just dump it on GameStop for whatever the fuck they give for me. I mean, let's look up. Well, you know, I got my phone here. Let's look up what GameStop would give me for this game, assuming it's in their database here. What would GameStop give me? We're gonna look right now, live on. We are going to see what GameStop would do. Assuming it is in their system. Let's see. Bought up a bunch of phones. Let's try. Let's try doing it with maybe I need to type the like actual little meeting. Can't see it, so fucking small with the effect. I guess we're not gonna get a live thing of what the fuck it meant. Anyway, either way, Okay, time for me to add a pizza into my oven. It's 3 a.m. I'm getting hungry, but I'll take my laptop so I will not miss out. Sweetio. That's fandom there for you. Anyway, let's get it done. We're getting here. So, we got 2 loose DS games. We got the Mario vs. Donkey Kong Mini Land and Lego City Undercover. Undercover, which I need to get cases out for. Something I got in Maine. I've never heard of this game. It is a very strange kind of point-click RPG thing. It's 2 discs. It is complete. It has its booklet in there, and the discs looked okay. Yeah. Let's see. I need to make cover art for the Honey Pop disc I bought. Let's see. Then here we got the Dragon Ball Z game for the PS1, which was more popular on the Sega Saturn, but it was $7.99. Let's see. Now this Populous Begins. I got this from Mike. He's the guy I give all my boxes and packing material to. So some of the games I get from him aren't always fantastic edition. Yes, I wasn't familiar with it. I looked it up. It has some pretty loading screens. So I usually try to pick out a few decent condition games from Mike, but sometimes I'll pick a few random things. This game I just picked randomly. It is in pretty rough shape, so I could maybe look into getting it buffed to that. I don't have it, but yeah, it was just a random grab with some other shit, so it's not like a big deal. That Kirby Superstar on the DS, and then the ironic thing is later Mike had a cased version of Lego City, so that is now an extra copy. So now I have a complete copy. Again, these are for trading in boxes and packing material. No money exchanged. In other words, I guess you could say I'm getting some extra out of any of the shipping materials I paid for. But usually I get a lot of free shipping, so. And you see, that's kind of neat thing, like, say, like with Woot.com. So if I buy the stuff from Woot.com, I get the free shipping with Amazon Prime that my dad has. And all the packing material, all that stuff comes in, is just shit I give the Mike for more games. So, could be. This is one of my favorite Kirby games, the SNES game. This is the SNES game with, like, I think there's 2 or 3 additional mini games they added on this. But, yeah, like, I love Superstar. It is a fantastic Kirby game. One of my favorite Kirby games. And the DS version is just more extra love on it. Now, I've never played the DS version. And I don't own the SNES version. Aaron owned that version. I have not played Epic Yarn. I'm not sure if I own Epic Yarn, to be honest. I'm not sure if I own it. Now, this game I'm holding here is probably one of the weirdest DS games I ever heard of. So, Diamond Trust of London. Now, you're probably looking at this and probably like, that is the weirdest looking DS game I've ever seen. Like, it has like credits on the side and the title on the side in a very strange way, and the cover was very odd, and the back features the 2 people being credited on the cover, I believe, right? No? Okay, wait, no. It's not the same people on the front. I just kind of assumed that, so my bad, my mistake. So, you're probably like, what in the fuck is this? And this is a game you can actually still buy brand new. I bought it used, cheaper than when it is brand new. I think it's $20 new. It's a very, very simple looking game. You can literally look up gameplay of it. But essentially, you are basically trying to buy diamonds and smuggle them around and shit, and like control the diamond marketplace and shit. I tried it a little bit. It is very weird. This is a game that came out prior to like Limited One games and such. It was a game that was basically published by like 2 or whatever amount of people related to a very small group of people of that. So, in a way, these people beat like Limited One games and shit to doing this kind of thing. Very weird. More of a just history piece for the collection, honestly. Very strange. GTA China. I can't remember which version of China Wars I have. I'm pretty sure I have one of them, but I don't really remember which one. Now, here's a Rayman game I never heard of. Rayman Rush. I've never heard of it, and I've never seen it, and it was $5 at a pawn shop. It looks like it's some kind of, like, 7 original cunning opponents make a mad dash for a chicken. Like, it's some, like, obstacle course of that. But, yeah, I never heard of it. It's complete. It has the disc and booklet and everything. As you can see, the case has some cracks, so I'll need to change out the jewel case. I have lots of spare jewel case stuff in that. And then, we have a totally not sus game. Custom artwork here. Very wholesome. Yep. Totally wholesome, and I can't remember why I bond on that, but yes, yep, totally cute. Don't look it up though, you know. It is so wholesome, you know. But yeah, it's my born copy of that. But yeah, Wolf Goal with you. Yep, totally wholesome. Don't look it up though. Don't Google it. Don't Google it. It's totally wholesome though. Yep. Totally believable. Oh my goodness, are we doing another ad? Twitch is going to do another ad. We're on a 4-minute countdown. Something I got out of that dollar bin thing. Wow, actually, I didn't notice it has a Game Exchange sticker on it. I haven't seen one of those in a long time. Oh, it's Wolf Goal with you. Wolf Goal with you. Anyway, this was in that dollar bin thing. It's like tank tactics game or something like that. It has some kind of fog on it, so it might be kind of bad, to be honest. But well, it was like a doll. And then here's another custom artwork, Feeling Hunger. I did a review on Feeling Hunger, my born disc. Nothing special on that, but I made a unique cover and back for it. So I really like this game. I definitely recommend if you're looking for a survival RPG. Feeling Hunger was very interesting. I really liked it, this game. So I'm very glad Browser recommended me that game. Yes, it's a visual novel with head pads. Yep, wholesome head pads. Yep. Totally. $3 for Counter Force for the Wii, which some kind of mech game, but it was complete good condition. I mean, $3. I mean, that's like getting close to those prices I was getting in Japan for like DS games. Something I got at a store in Maine. Does it say what the game box? Video games and comics? I don't think that was the name of the store, but anyway. I don't have this Yu-Gi-Oh game. I didn't have any Wii Yu-Gi-Oh game, so, but yeah, so I was like, why not? I don't have it. It's not super expensive. I want to get a few games though, so. Something I went into the new shop. So we played the newer version of Shadow Man 1 on the PS4, and the sequel was supposed to be absolutely awful. This was $7.99, not this price tag, which is from Mike, but $7.99. So this is complete and it's in nice, clean condition. But this is supposed to be an awful game, but it's very nice, clean disc and everything. So I was like, well, it's cheap, and it's a sequel to a game I beat, so I guess I'm obligated to get it. So I guess Yeah, Dan said it was not like. This is another game that was pretty badly damaged, if I remember correctly. This one was pretty rough. But I've never heard of it. I never heard of this game, Dead Man's Hand. It's some kind of FPS Western that. So I might get buffed or something, but I never heard of it. So that's something else I got from Mike for just trading and packing material. Yeah, I never heard of it. We got one of the Attil games. This is a sealed PS2 copy. Ooh. And then we also got another one again, sealed PS2. Ooh. Let's see. This was $10. Great Medieval Battles from the History Channel for the 360. It was in good condition. I was like, $10, you know, throwaway game. And this was in that $1. No, wait. No, apparently this was at Goodwill. Or maybe. No, I think this was in that dollar bin. I think. Pretty sure this was in that dollar bin. It just might add a Goodwill sticker on it. But, yeah, it's another History Channel thing. I was like, it's in good condition. I'll buy that for $1. Yeah. And we got some PS3 stuff. Another game from that series from Capcom, number 4. So I snagged that as well. Then a PS3 game I've been needing to get for a long time, Enslaved: Journey to the West, which is a sci-fi mech take on Journey to the West. I've always heard good things about this game, but I have never just bought it. So I have now in my possession. Some Super Whale games. Not familiar with any of these three. They were no PS5 one. I'm not familiar with any of them. That one has some gruesome looking graphics though, and I went for a buy. I'm not familiar with any of those. Let's set those down there so they're not balancing on this odd stack of more squares here. So let's set these over here, and now we're here, the last stack. This is it, the end. We're almost there after 2 hours. I believe this is another full motion video game. Now here's one that was exciting. I've always heard fantastic things. This is one of those games that slipped through the cracks for me when I was growing up. Tomba. If I remember correctly, Atlas, I believe, published the original games on the PlayStation, if I remember correctly. These are very expensive on the PlayStation. And when Limited One Games announced this, I was very excited. Unlike Matt Pat, no, not Matt Pat. Why do I always say Matt Pat when I'm thinking of Pat the NES Punk? Unlike Pat the NES Punk's podcast, where they assumed this was a collection of 1 and 2, I knew better. I know Limited One Games. If it's worth a lot of money, let's split it up. So, of course, it's only Tomba 1. Now, I would hope they'll do 2 eventually, but yeah, there was no way they were gonna fucking combine 2 super rare PS1 games and not. I mean, we're talking about they split up all those new Master Blaster games, and you could buy an Asian version with all of them together. They'll only combine shit if they know it's not going to be a fantastic to sell them solo by themselves that easily. It's rare for them to probably combine good shit. This was a Limited One game published by, well, I mean, it's part of Humble Bundle Games. I'm not familiar with it. Humanity! PlayStation VR. I don't actually know anything about this either, but it kind of has a neat little aesthetic though. I like the kind of like, the cover has a very nice look there. I have no idea what it's about. Let's see. Save the people, lead the people to the light, and rebuild mankind across 90 story mode missions. Destroy the AI. Outsmart challenges that rogue AI course set out from you, from giant puzzles to massive bosses. Create and play. Create your own stages in the stage creator. Kind of reminds me of a game that was on PS3 that I bought from PlayAsia a long time ago. I can't remember. I think it was called The Last Guy, I think it was called. Kind of reminds me of that. Another Walmart clearance for $13. Don't know anything about it. Now. You might be familiar with this game. This is another SJW-esque game. So this was on sale for $9 at Walmart. I was like, $9? Why not? It can be, like I said, one of those kind of games where we'll play, we'll give it a fair, like, I like to think I'm pretty fair. I have played some SJWS games, and a few of them are okay, and a few of them are really bad. So, I don't know. It was published by Square Enix, if you're not actually familiar with this game. I have watched somebody play some of this game, and I know some of the story, so the story to me is pretty bad, so the Unruly Heroes, this was another one of those Pix and Love games that I got on their Black Friday that was only unique to them. Again, same thing, one of the games from them that was only unique to them. Again, another game that was only unique to them. This one has a really nice art style, and it was pretty cheap. This is a game I'm very excited to actually hopefully play soon. I played Witch Spring 3 on the Switch, and I really liked it. It was a flawed game, but it had a lot of nice heart to it. This is a remake of the original Witch Spring, which the Witch Spring series, if you're not familiar, is a mobile series. Now, I know mobile is like, ooh, mobile, but unlike a lot of mobile games, this was a buy it and there you go. You're done. Play the fucking game. No microtransactions or anything. It's a fucking RPG and shit. Now, I believe this is Korean descent, I believe. If I know, it's not Japanese, though it is popular in Japan, though. But, yeah, so Witch Spring 3 was the first one to get a console debut, which updated the graphics. And like I said, this is a remake of Witch Spring 1. So, I really liked it 3, so I'm hoping I will really like the beginning roots of the franchise, and hopefully they'll do more, because I really liked the lightheartedness of the story. And I'm a kind of a sucker for the main character of 3, because I'm a sucker for the whole, like, finding humanity in yourself kind of storyline thing. So, speaking of which, I am watching an anime. Which watch? So funny. Never heard of it. Rainbow Billy. So this is supposed to be kind of a Paper Mario-esque RPG. I do have the Switch version of this. As I said, I would usually like to play the PlayStation version, because trophies do add a little bit of replay value to it a little bit. So this was cheap, and the Switch version I got cheap a long time ago for like $10 at GameStop. So I will probably just see about trading or selling or doing something with that. Then we have, sadly, from the Danganronpa Cradle. This was his last game with Spike Chunsoft. Is a big death game with all detectives, and I don't know if it's any good. I haven't played it yet. This is supposed to be a more comprehensive version of it. It originally released on Switch first, and then it got this PS5 version, which I would rather play, honestly, again, on a PlayStation more than the Switch, personally. Though I get, like, Nimble, the 100 line, as I said, is only on PC and Switch. And I get why he started his own company with limited funds out of his own pocket. So, you know, it costs money to develop a game for multiple systems and shit. And I get why he did the switch over to PlayStation. Because it's everywhere. It's like Bloodstain was the worst version on the Switch, but it was the best selling version. Like, the Switch sells. So, if you could only choose one, I can understand why he chose Switch. I just really, really hope, he spent the time to make a very good physical release of his. All I hope. That was my feel buying his fucking game. Because Switch versions, a lot of times, are very broken or very buggy in it. So, this is a visual novel. It was cheap on Loot.com. This is a goofy shooter side-scrolling shooting game that takes place in the Warhammer universe. Here it's kind of but it was cheap. Evil Genius 2 was cheap on Amazon. I think it was like $5. 8-bit Hordes. I have another of the 8-bit. These are like RTS games. There's like, I think 3 or 4 of them on PlayStation 4. I think I have 1 or 2 of them. I didn't have this one. It was cheap on PlayAsia. As you can see, it's the PAL version. So I was like, sure, I'll get it. And then this was an interesting game. It is a survival horror game, The Withering Looms. This, when I bought it, was starting to go up on price. I was able to snag a copy off PlayAsia. As you can see, it is a PAL version. But the price was going up. I'm not sure where it currently sits right now. It looked interesting at that. This company, by the way, publishes a lot of physical VR games in Europe. So, but yeah, it looked interesting. So I snagged a copy before it decides to become $2 bajillion. And there we have it. Do jazz hands, clap, thumb up, do the OK sign. Oh wait, maybe we shouldn't do that because maybe it'll get us banned because some people consider that offensive. Oh no! Quick, do Shantae. No. Anyway, we've made it through everything that was here. There was way too much shit, and now I have to add it all to my giant master list. Won't that be fun? And we get to start the process all over again and build up a giant table, and who knows how big it'll be next time. Hopefully smaller, because we are literally at 2 hours and 21 minutes. I feel like this shit keeps getting longer and longer and longer. Anyway, I only have one day off. Sunday is my only day off, and then it's back to the fucking grind, and I can only hope I get some fucking non-overtime next week, hopefully. We do have Memorial Day on Monday, which will be off because that is a holiday that is universal here in America for a day off. So that will be a day off. Whether they make us work overtime Friday and Saturday because of that is very high, to be honest. But we'll see. Sometimes there have been a few years where they're like, oh, well, it's Memorial Weekend. We want you all to have a nice weekend. And then the next week, they make us work overtime. They have done that before. And if they do that, I might put in a half day to just kind of cover my ass for a week of that. But as it stands, I probably will not have the option to do too many half days. It was originally in the cards. I might do one more trip. So there's a maybe trip in December to go see some VRD people in a little hangout in New York. I only have those in. It's a very short little meetup if I go to it. I have them in always in case I want to go to it. I might go to another fun meetup in the Netherlands in October. It is a discussion that is still happening. It is a lot of the people that I hung out with in Atlanta. So, Atlanta, Georgia, I hung out with a bunch of these people. And one of the people came from the Netherlands. And, yeah, it's kind of like, hey, let's go to the Netherlands and visit them now. That they came and visited America. So, let's go visit them. So, they do say it is a bit chilly, but we don't have to worry about snow. It's more like ice, actually. But it would be my first time going to anywhere that's considered the EU. So it would be an interesting first visit to an EU-esque country. And it would be my second time leaving America if I did take the trip. I did have a lot of fun with my friends in Atlanta, Georgia, and it would be neat to hang out with them. I had a very lovely time. We did a lot of fun activities. We did some actual VR dancing in real life with like the Marshall and such, and a few VR for just dancing videos. Somebody brought a giant projector to put on the wall, and we just found an empty room in the hotel to actually do that. It was pretty neat. Oh, is it? Huh. Well, there's gonna be a bunch of us, so it likely won't be a problem. Anyway, though, to be fair, even before that, I was considering maybe visiting Britain or something, because I got one friend who's interested in hanging out in Britain, but that would be a much smaller thing. Um, that was something I was maybe thinking about, but yeah, this hangout with a big group of friends, like I had a lot of fun, so I would love to hang out. So it's something still being discussed, so it's not finalized. But Godzilla is considering 2 weeks there. So if I was to do the full length of time of the 2 weeks that he wants to do that, I have 3 weeks. And I usually carry over a week into the new year because we're allowed to carry 1 week over to the new year. I usually do that. So technically, I do still have a third week, but I do usually like carrying it over to try and counter any overtime that's in the new year. Now, this year and last year, to be fair, the first 3 months of the new year have been very slow for the last 2 years. So I had not made much use of that carryover week. So I might consider just actually using it for a few half days to get out of overtime if it gets a little wild. But basically, to get to the point, I would probably like to do the 2 weeks. I mean, to be fair, if you're going overseas in a long ass travel, you probably want to make the most of it. Like when I went to Japan, you don't want to just be there for like 3 days and fly back for like $1,000, right? Now I did check flights. They'll know about like 500, 600 from what I seen right now. I'm gonna kind of keep an eye on the price for now to see how it fluctuates. But so far, it's showing to be cheaper than Japan, to be fair. Now, it's a European country, so the American money is going to be under European money, so meaning I will be spending more American money on anything I buy, so I do need to be a little cautious. And to be fair, that will actually help if I do some of the overtime. That will give me some extra money. Ooh. But yeah, so that's something that might be in the cards in the future. It is something in discussion, obviously, as we get closer to October. And if that actually ends up being a thing, I will, talk more about that affecting stream and stuff. So basically, what I'm saying is I'm kind of limited a little bit on how many days I may want to toss to do half days to get out of overtime. So I'm hoping we don't go through a whole bunch of overtime, but we'll have to see. I could use some of the extra money for the trip though, so a little bit ain't gonna be too bad. But yeah, if we do like months and months and months, then I might be very tempted to use up that third week some to get out of it, because I don't want to do shitloads of it. I want to stay sane. Anyway, last thing. So as I said, there is the possibility that we are going to encounter several weeks of overtime possibly here. And with that said, about trying to not use a lot of vacation at the moment, if I do decide to do the 2 week thing, basically, if we do encounter multiple weeks of overtime for a few months, if that scenario happens, I'm going to likely have to do a shorter stream in the later portion of Saturday like we're doing right now, and only focus on one game like I did with Elden Ring during COVID when we were doing like 50, 60s for fucking months. So, if that scenario happens, what I will probably do is we will probably focus on Lord of the Rings Golem, get that done, then focus on The Last Hero Nostalgia Gaia, and get that done. We will probably continue doing the 1 hour Wednesday stream, and keep doing that still, likely. But, yeah, we will likely only make it a one stream on Saturday thing, likely, in the scenario that we have a lot of overtime going on. So, that's to update on real life stuff that may be affecting work and stuff going on. So, with that though, not really anything else to really mention. Really, that's pretty much it. So, thank you for those who stuck around and watched for the multitude of time for this pickup video. So, yeah, and I do have the next 2 reviews done too, which will be Persona Q and Detective Pikachu. So Persona Q will be the big game review, because like I said, I'm trying to do one big review, like a noteworthy game, and then 2 smaller, like, quickie reviews. So, Persona Q will be this month's bigger review thing, and obviously Detective Pikachu is not going to be much of a review, to be honest, but, more like complaining, but, Anyway. But yeah, that's it. So, this will likely go up for this Monday, because I was stupid. I was so tired after work today, I left my fucking laptop in my locker, so I would not, the original plan was to put Persona Q's review up this coming Monday, but I accidentally left it in my fucking locker. So, I will obviously not going to drive down to work 40 minutes to go pick it up and come back home with that. So I will have to wait until Monday to get my laptop back out of my locker. It kind of sucks, but so this will be the Monday video, and then next week Monday will be Persona Q review and such. So anyway, thank you everyone for joining. I'm sorry my voice crackling here and there still a bit from the Atlanta, Georgia karaoke night. Was also very fun. Closing night is a fantastic ending for a karaoke event, by the way, for anyone who does karaoke. Look up Closing Night. Fantastic song to end on. Anyway, thank you for everyone for joining, and I will see you all in the future. There is a very, very small possibility I might do a short live stream tomorrow, possibly for a little gameplay, maybe. Very small. I will likely be too busy trying to catch up on real life stuff. Because you gotta keep in mind, I came from Atlanta back home at like 10 to go to work the next day, and then told that we're working Friday and Saturday. So I haven't even really unpacked my shit. So, yeah, I'm probably going to be more likely busy with real life shit tomorrow, sadly. So, but we'll see. Maybe a small possibility. Anyway, take it easy. Thank you for joining. And I know, blah, 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 blah. Until next time, see you. Make sure you buy on Teespring. Link down below. It's been there for ages. Please, I'm poor. No, I'm just kidding. But you can seriously buy one, like I said. Anyway, take it easy. Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Thank you for being awesome, being a gamer, loving games. Switch 2 is very disappointing to me. Sorry, Nintendo nerds. It sucks. It sucks. It just sucks.